Hello everyone, I'm Rachel Tessman from stampyourartout.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Andover, Minnesota in the US. And today I am bringing to you my first set of alternates. Sorry for the wait. It is Wednesday, February 26th at 11 a.m. Central Time. Sorry, the year 2025, as I am coming to you live. Normally I share around the 20th, 21st. I get my kits on the later side. But once I get my kit, I'm there creating with it. I got it last Tuesday, but then I went on a retreat, a much needed retreat, and I forced myself. It was hard, but oh my gosh, I really feel great by taking a week off. So forgive me for the lateness. I really needed it. But today I'm going to share with you my first set of alternates using the February 2025 Hello Spring Paper Pumpkin Kit contents and a few extra products. And I didn't bring in a lot of extra products. We have coordinating products, like we have a set of dies. I believe they are called Spring is in the Air. So this set of dies here, I didn't use any of them this time, but if you have a die cutting machine and you want to amplify your alternate projects, I recommend this. There's also a coordinating bundle, stamps and dies. I ordered it, don't have it yet. So those types of things. I'm basically using the kit, some extra cardstock, a punch, my favorite punch, the bow punch, one more extra ink. So, because one card I just felt didn't look right with the Petunia Pop ink, which is the ink you get in the kit, and tools. Oh, I have some extra embellishments too. So it's really, I mean, these projects, if you want to make them, are pretty affordable, if that makes sense. So we're going to dive in. So I'm going to show you step by step how to make these projects. I'm going to go as fast as I can because we want to try to keep this all within an hour's time. What else do I want to tell you? All the products that I'm using are listed as supplies in the description of the YouTube video. When I'm done with this, I'll transfer that over to the Facebook video description. I do want to mention now at this point that this is the last live. For those of you watching on Facebook, come on over to YouTube. Please come over here. This is the last live that I'm doing to my Facebook page, that I'm sharing to my Facebook page. There are some new things happening on Facebook, which actually reinforced my decision. But basically it's for just trying to do less, right? We want to work harder, smarter, not harder, right? So I'm trying to do less, and all of you can come over to YouTube. YouTube is public. Facebook, you have to have an account in order to be in and viewing things. But on YouTube, you can view videos without having an account. So I invite you all who are watching on Facebook now to come join us. Don't feel like you're abandoning Lisa. Lisa is there today to help answer questions, but hopefully she can also guide you over to YouTube, because I want you to get used to it. Come on over to where we are all going to be for the coming future lives. And on that note, hello, Lisa Marshall and Trisha Josephs. They are my moderators. We have Lisa Marshall on Facebook and Trisha Josephs on YouTube. And you will see Lisa in the future. Just know that we're not saying goodbye to her, okay? And I'm using her in different ways as well, but she will sub once in a while for Trisha, all that kind of stuff. So anyways, what else do I want to tell you? So these projects are going to be viewable on my blog. I have a blog link also in the description of my video. That link is not clickable yet. I mean, you can click on it, but it's not going to take you anywhere. When you click on it at 12:15 p.m. Central Time, you'll be able to see photos of these 3 cards that I'm sharing. I'm doing 3 kind of different cards. They're not just open and close. 2 of them are fun folds. One's more of like an interactive type of card. And then the other one is just uniquely cut. So you'll see photos there. You'll see this video from YouTube embedded into that post. You'll see a visual list of supplies and what else? Links to everything that you need, including the link to my last live last week, which was not a live that we counted for prizes, by the way, but that last live is where I shared some cards and gifts that were gifted to me, things that were gifted to me since my last show and share. And 3 of those items were cards that inspired these projects today. I will show them before I'm, showing you the actual card that I created off of that idea. So thank you for sending cards, because I get inspiration from all of you. The next set of alternates will be shared on March 7th. That's when a group of demonstrators that I'm close to, we do a blog hop. And so you'll want to come back for that. That will not be in video format though. It'll just be a post. So you'll go there to get the directions. There'll be written directions, measurements, that kind of thing. And then I'll also be sharing on March 1st when my Paper Pumpkin Creatives team debuts our Hello Spring, which is the name of this kit, the Hello Spring exclusives. So we share these tutorials with our subscribers and with our team members, but you can also purchase them from any one of us. So, all right, I'm trying to think what else I want to share with you before we get started. I think, mentioning prizes. If you comment, you get entered into the prize drawing. So you'll want to do that. Let's go to the desktop real quick and check this out. This is what I'm talking about. If you are new to my channel, or you're new to Stampin' Up! Products, or you're just new to Paper Pumpkin kits in general, this is a North American product. It's not available in all markets, but we are very blessed to be able to share these things with our customers. We have tissue wrapped kits, and they come each month straight to your mailbox. They have a little pamphlet inside that gives you visual directions. Then all of your supplies, including adhesives and any kind of embellishments, are within. This kit creates for you, while you put it together, but you can put together 3 different cards, 3 of each of those designs. So 9 cards altogether. You get coordinating envelopes. You also get a stamp set. So here's the stamp set that comes with this kit. It looks like that. And you get a clear block in your first kit. So if you don't know how to use photopolymer or clear stamps, basically you peel them off, stick them on the block, and then you can ink up your stamps with the mini little ink pads. They're called spots. So Petunia Pop is the color for this kit. I am not opening this new kit because I already have one opened, but let's just pull out Petunia Pop and this little sheet that comes inside the kit so you can see all of your stamps. These are the ones that I've mounted that I'll be using today. Here's the twine, here's that direction sheet, and it is all visual. So anybody can use these kits even if you don't speak the language that it's in. And here's my Petunia Pop big pad. Hi Sandy, you just got yours too? I know. So I mean, normally I would have gotten it probably on Wednesday or Thursday, but I got lucky and got it on Tuesday, and then I went on a retreat. Thank you, Michelle. So the Petunia Pop ink is also in a larger version. I did list this in the supplies, but it's optional. There are other optional supplies listed in the supply list. The Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, that's only if you're going to be getting the Spring is in the Air dies. So, that sort of thing. Those are listed in there. Clear blocks are listed in there because I like to use the ergonomic ones that fit my fingers. So you'll see D, C, and B sizes listed in there. I have my stamps mounted, ready to go. Then you'll see things like the bow punch. It's not necessary, but it does add a fun little flair to one of our cards. I've also got extra adhesives just because I like to use adhesive that's quicker and easier, and they don't have any glue dots in this kit. So if you're going to be sticking something flat, you'll want to use like seal or glue. This is the multi-purpose liquid glue in the Country Hive snowflake holder, and then I've transferred the glue into my precision tip bottle, which makes it easier for me to use. So, and then I've got an extra ink in there, Mossy Meadow, my snips, my Take Your Pick tool, my bone folder. These are just tools that make life easier when you're a paper crafter. Hi, Gal Beth, how are you? And then I have these embellishments. Cardstock too, sorry, forgot to show the cardstock, but you'll see that as we go. I'm gonna bring in my trimmer and we're gonna start. Actually, I don't need the trimmer yet. I wanna show you something. This is, these are a couple pieces that are in the kit. I'm gonna put them onto a Stampin' Pierce mat. There we go. I've labeled my mats. I have some that I poke into and some that I don't. So that's why you see these little labels on there. They don't come with those labels. It's just the way I choose to identify mine. We have 2 pieces that are very similar. They have the chives image. All of the images that are in the set have the cute little name listed next to the type of plant it is. So mint, chives, and I'm trying to remember the other one. Mint, chives, and basil, okay? So for this one, you actually have a stamp that comes in the kit. It's a flower, and your petunia pop is the color that they want you to stamp this in. Now, when I Googled flowering chives, I saw many beautiful flowers in this color, but I didn't think it was as bright as the ink application appeared. So I want to recommend to you that you stamp off onto your grid paper first, and then you tilt and add your flower image. And I'm adding it to this branch here, or this little stem here, because that's the one that ends kind of abruptly. These two come to a point. So you want to stamp here and here. So again, stamp off and then stamp on, and you're going to get a slightly lighter version of that ink color. Okay, stamp off. The other one I didn't stamp off too well, did I? Did you see that, you guys? Here, I'll show it to you again. It has a little darkness up there. Forgot to stamp it all the way flat. But that's okay, I'm still gonna use it because paper crafting is forgiving. All right, we have a couple pieces stamped for when we wanna use them later on. Let's bring in the inspiration card. This is the inspiration card. I got this card from Tina Bickford. It was a swap card. And I loved the window. Now, do you remember, yes, I'll talk about that soon, Sandra. Sorry about that. Do you remember when we used to make these window cards and we'd put packaging tape or packing tape on the back side, then maybe put another layer over so that we don't, see that, but you could put packaging tape over that and then just trim off the ends and just one long piece. But then we had that dazzling diamonds glitter and we'd sprinkle it on, smush it around on there, and we'd have a glittery window. We don't have dazzling diamonds glitter, but if you want to, you can do that to the card that I'm going to share with you today. So we're going to take this card base here and we're going to trim it. So here is our card base. It's the one that has the basic beige coloring to it and a little bit of copper foiling to it. We're going to turn it, let me check here. So 5, 5, 5, let's see here. Yep, we're going to go to here and we're going to put it into our trimmer so that this is the front, this is the back. We're cutting at 5 inch. No, is this the, let me think here. Nope, this is the front, this is the back, okay? So this is the front of my card and I have that up towards the top, and I'm going to position this edge at 5 inches. Which also brings this over to a 1/2 inch. I'm going to cut starting at 3 1/4. Nope, sorry, 3 3/4. Come on, Rachel, you just designed these 2 days ago. Okay, 3 1/4. Yep. So I'm pushing it down at 3 3/4 inches right here, which is a 1/2 inch from the midline, and I'm going to scoot that down to the 1/2 inch mark. So I'm making a slit. I'm going to do another slit. I'm going to bring this over to the, and I want to check my measurements. Where are they? There they are. 3 inches. We're going to 3 inches now. So we've scooted over 2 inches and we're going to do the same thing. Can you see that little mark there? We're going to go to 3 3/4 inches. And we're going to push it down, and then we're going to cut going all the way to that 1/2 inch mark. All right. I put that white paper under there so you can see the measurements. And yes, some of you like to keep a little permanent white strip under your trimmer measurements, but I don't. So yeah, it bothers me. So I don't do it, but you could. Okay, then I'm going to bring it to this direction and we're going to do the same thing. This time we're going to go to 8 inches on this side. So if you extend the arm of your trimmer, it would be at the 8 inch mark over here. Or you can, again, look over here and see the 1/2 inch mark. And we're going to connect the spots here. So connecting this cut to this cut. Do you see them in here? There's the cuts. So we're just connecting the two ends, edge to edge. So you don't even have to worry about what measurements those are. We're going to bring it up to the 4 3/4 inch mark, and we're going to do the same thing. Connect those two ends. Then we're going to lift it up and off, and we're going to snip anything that didn't cut all the way through, like that, and we have a window. This, save it for another card. You might find it handy. Next, we're going to bring our pieces. So we have this piece, and we have this piece, and we're going to stamp this one with a sentiment. And this time I'm going to use the one that says, "Thanks for helping me grow." So I'm going to open up my Petunia Pop ink. So chime in and say hello, everybody. Tell us how you are doing. I'm going to stamp this over to the left of this pink piece here. This pink piece is kind of like a really, really, really light version of Petunia Pop. So we're going to stamp that looking at the top line of words and making sure that that's stamping parallel to the top edge of that pink strip. Okay, so there's that. This is going to get trimmed off. This is a super simple card, you guys. All right, so now we're going to take and fold our card and use our bone folder to help crease it. Just pressing that crease flat. We're going to take our adhesive, and you could use like the glue or you could use seal adhesive. So now that some of you on Facebook are coming over to YouTube to join us, so that you are on the right spot in the coming lives, make sure that you're subscribed. Click on that button that says subscribe. And then also, it turns into a bell. There's a little bell there. You can click it and adjust your notifications. So now I'm going to put this down here in the middle. And you'll notice that there's gaps on these two sides, but not at the top and bottom. That is because if you cut it to that size, this piece will fit in there too, okay? So you could use either one of those pieces in that little area with the same measurements. This guy here, I am going to trim up on the end. Just gonna cut off the little scallop end there, so it's nice and flat. And then I'll take my dimensional adhesives, and you get a whole big sheet of them in your kit. I'm just going to go to my other one so that I can give that one away someday because it's pretty cool. And I'm just going to place a couple dimensionals here and here. Notice I'm laying them on top of my card upside down so I can see where the dimensionals should sit. I don't want to go too far to this edge, right? Otherwise the stickiness will come off the end. I'm going to place another one right here. Katz has her starter kit. Stalking the UPS man for my Stampin' Up kit. I love it. Her startup kit. Yay. And yes, the startup kits, by the way, the starter kits are available on a special deal now through the end of this month. You can get a couple extra sets of markers as a bonus, along with an exclusive stamp set that's already predetermined, but it's pretty cool. I'll show you the cards that it makes. So I'm going to put this right here so I can still read the chives. So the stamp set, which I don't have in my possession right now, I don't know where it went, but it has these sentiments and imagery on them. So you get that stamp set and 2 sets of markers. It's awesome. If you don't need markers, you can choose $30 an extra product instead, now through the end of February. Okay, so after that's done, then I'm going to bring in those pretty little embellishments. These are the pecan pie and clear ribbon adhesive back dots. But if you look at them, I'm going to just zoom in here. If you look at them, they just look like a sparkly little dot. I mean, if you look really close, you can see kind of like this little design underneath the shiny part, right? But it's not too distracting. It's more like just a really shiny, glittery looking kind of embellishment. So I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool and grab, I think I'll do the pecan pie ones for this. And I'm going to put one kind of the same distance right about there. So I've got about 3/8 of an inch here, about 3/8 of an inch here. And then I'll take my smaller one and put that right next to it. And that is a finished card. Okay, here is the blue version of it. So I use the clear ones on this. I use the pecan pie ones on this one. Very pretty and simple card. Now, you get a ton of these because you actually are given these so that you can make a card with 3 of these images on the card. If you just put one image on that card instead, let's say you're following all the kit directions and you make that card as is, but you just put one on the card, you're going to have 2 times 3. You're going to have like, what, 6 of these left over. So you might as well make some cards like this. I just chose to use this one inside because I'm using these for something else. I'm trying to use my kit pieces wisely, but I hope that you enjoyed that idea. Okay, that's the first one. Now, and thank you again, Tina Bickford, for the idea of making a window card, because I haven't done one in a long time. It was really fun. The next card was influenced by Miss Becky Ewing. So Becky, who might be live with us because I see her name live with us every once in a while, she did one of these double Z fold cards, but it's altered in that this piece is shorter. So you're using your cardstock a little bit differently. It's not a full base, and we have this little fun extension. So I decided to make an altered double Z fold using similar measurements. They're not the same because I wanted to really make use of my 8.5 by 11 cardstock in the way that I wanted to. So thank you so much, Becky, for your influence on that card. Let us pull out the pieces that we're going to need. Did you see that? I got a little petunia pop dot on here, but we're going to ignore that. So here are the other pieces. Okay, you've got your mint, your basil, and your chives. We're going to add these to this card. We're going to use all three on one card. We're also going to use this piece, which is similar, but not the exact same size, but it's okay because it's not going to be in the same spot. We'll be using these two strips. Okay, thank you for your kind comments, you guys. Do you know that you get entered into a prize drawing when you comment? But still, it's so much fun to see what everybody's writing. So chime in, talk away. It makes it more fun for me too when I'm to read your comments. Okay, and then we'll be using this kit base, this kit card base, okay? Now it has, obviously, a direction to it, right? But we're gonna cut it in this direction. We're gonna go to 5 3/8 inches. So it's just short of 5.5. We have a strip here. And then we're gonna cut this one at 2 5/8 inches. And we're gonna leave this side at 2 7/8. Okay, so this one's gonna be a little wider, this one's gonna be narrower. And this one here, we're also gonna cut, I'll just turn it this way because I like the look of that side better. We're gonna cut that to 2 5/8 inches. This one is gonna go in the middle because we don't see it as much. But as far as plants go, do you know that, you can have plants kind of going all over the place, right? They don't always have to be laid out upward as if they're growing. You could use the envelope. The envelope in this kit also has some similar designs to it. So if you wanted to, instead of cutting up and using one full card base, you could use a portion of the card base and then some of an envelope so that you're not wasting another card base. But then you're cutting up into an envelope. And I'll show you something with that soon. Okay, so the next step is to take our base. And I'm using a really, really bright color here. This color is Lemon Lime Twist. I'm using it because one of the colors in the kit is Lemon Lime Twist. You can see just hints of that highlighted color in the pieces here. It's listed below. We have Basic Beige, Bubble Bath, Lemon Lime Twist, Lost Lagoon, Old Olive, Petunia Pop, and Bronze. Oh, I guess it's bronze, not copper. Okay, so now we're gonna take this and we're gonna cut it in half at 5.5 inches. Then we're gonna take this piece and instead of scoring it down the middle, we're gonna score it at 2 3/4 inches. Use our scoring blade only. 2 3/4 and 5.5. That's gonna leave us with a slightly larger section here, which is totally fine. We fold it into a Z, okay? The bigger section is in the back. I've done that same measurement with this 3.5 inch tall piece here. So we'll just fold that one also. So we have the same exact width, and the measurements are in the same spot, but this one is 3.5 inches tall, and this one is 5.5 inches tall, okay? All right, ready. Let's use our bone folder. So Paper Pumpkin is changing. Stampin' Up! Has been in the works of trying to get all of our separate little website entities into one at stampinup.com. And Paper Pumpkin currently, and has been since the beginning of its time in March of 2013, been a separate website. And it gets confusing for lots of people. They are making it simpler, but in the process of making it simpler, just so you know, it's going to be confusing for some of us who have been doing it the old way and have been used to it. So I just want to let you know that if you're one of my subscribers, you're going to be getting an email soon that will give you some directions on things to do initially in the next couple weeks. And then on March 11th, the new site will be active on stampinup.com. So paperpumpkin.com will no longer be the active site. You can still go there, but it will direct you over to stampinup.com. Okay, so things are changing. Do you see this? We have, oh, here, I'm going to zoom in so you can see, because the darker cardstock's harder to see. So I have the extended piece here. I'm going to flip that over. Okay, so now this longer piece is on top and the shorter piece is on the bottom, but it still connects. You can still connect it, right? But that's the order that I'm going to be putting these together. So now let's grab our card pieces that we pre-cut. Rachel put them somewhere. Do you guys see them? Okay. Oh my goodness sakes, Rachel. Do you guys see them on the table? Remember that card base that I cut? Okay, let's go to something else while we're looking around our desk for the card pieces. Oh my goodness sakes. All right, so the, yeah, they're gone. Where did I put them? Live, it's live. All right, we're gonna start with this then instead. We're gonna take these pieces and we're going to mount them onto our card while I'm in the background trying to find my other elements that I swear were just in front of me. We're going to start with this one and we're going to connect it to our smaller. So remember, this is the wider one on top and it Z folds that way. Okay. So this one's going to be glued down here. Trisha or Lisa, I need you in my house right now. And we're going to place this right here so that the right and the top and the bottom borders are similar in size. The next one will be this one, and that one will go in the middle. Oh, I put it over here with my envelope. Phew, just slow down and breathe, Rachel. Okay, so this one's going to go in the middle, but you see that? It's also got a little section here that it won't fit into exactly in the middle. So we're going to right justify that also. And we're going to right justify this piece, but this one's going to be up on dimensionals. So I'm going to grab my dimensionals again. I'm going to put one in each corner. Thank you, Veronica. She goes, are they under your trimmer? I lifted that one up twice. My goodness, and it wasn't there twice, but I found it in my box. I stuck it, oh, I put it, you know, when I was showing the envelopes, I grabbed it and put it over with my envelopes. Okay, this one's also going to be left justified into that section here. When you open it up, they all look very equal. There's a little bit extra Blackberry Bliss on the side, but they're evenly spaced. So then let's put these panels on because these were next. This is the one that's going wonky, so ignore that. This is our wider one, and this is our shorter one. Ignore the fold lines. If you don't crease your card like I did, you're not going to see them as much. They're going to kind of disappear because it is a darker cardstock. Okay, so this one's going to go on the inside right here. You're going to have a 1/16 of an inch edging all the way around because you know what? That lemon lime twist is bright. And so you only want a hint of it, just like they have on the imagery on these pieces here. There's just a little hint of it because it's kind of like a highlight color. It is so bright. Now in the 80s, that would have been probably the main color, but not today. We're kind of not as into the neons. This one I'm going to add in this direction, but again, it's going to be covered up somewhat, so you won't really like look at the direction of the leaves. That gets, oops, I forgot to trim this in that vertical direction. So we're just going to trim off 1/8 of an inch. And now we can add that. Okay, so that has covered up the middle panel. Now for these, you're going to need to have some sort of ruler or grid paper or something that allows you to know the width that your card can become. So here's 2 inches from the 0, 2 1/4, but we want 2 1/8. So 2 1/8 and 2 1/8. This is the widest my card can be in order to fit into an envelope. And look at that. Oh my gosh, I had it like right on there. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that this is straight and that this is straight. If either one of them are wonky or tipsy or whatever you want to call it, you are not going to be able to open and flatten out your card. So if this gets tilted somewhat, and I'm exaggerating, this will not flatten out to sit right, okay? So again, keeping that straight, I'm going parallel to the lines that are vertical on my grid paper, and that one straight. And you can go in a little bit if you're worried about the thickness of the card. I'm going to adjust this in a little bit, and it's even on the top and bottom. So now I'm going to just hold all of this down. I'm going to open this piece up. I'm going to put adhesive here, and I'm going to put adhesive here. So on the outside of this edge and right here, and I'm going to stick it down, and I'm doing it lightly. I'm not adding it real hard, because now what I want to do is I want to test it. And I want to see if when I extend this, it looks straight. And it's a little off, so I'm going to kind of adjust it to make it straight. Test it out. Oopsie. Test it out. And it looks pretty good. So now I'm going to leave this open. I'm going to flip this up. And I'm going to put some here and here. And that's going to get tacked down. And then you want to test it again. You want to make sure that your card can flatten all the way for sure, and then open up all the way for lying flat. The next step is to take and stamp onto this piece. I'm going to stamp that with the Hello Spring. So let's grab that Petunia Pop ink again. I'm losing things. What I need to do is put other things away that shouldn't be on my desk. Do you guys do that? You have things on your desk that don't need to be there? It's a very clever fold. I agree with you. You could, go either way, but it's going to tip the same direction. Now, if you flip it on its white side, you're going to have a totally different look. You can do that. I decided for a little hint of pink because we're using the Petunia Pop ink there, and we're using it here. So again, parallel to the top and bottom lines of your strip, making sure that hello is going that way. Okay, then this piece, we're going to adhere the top portion of this to this, just to give a fun little extension. And then we're going to take dimensionals again, and we're going to put one right next to this piece here. Remember, this is the layer that we put up on dimensionals. It's up a little higher, so it will work. And then we're going to put another one right on the end. We'll peel this off. We'll scoot this underneath. We'll lay it so that this looks, so it looks like it's going straight. Stick it down, and you don't want that to extend beyond. And then we'll peel off the backing on this side, and we'll stick that down. And that bit of shadow is going to make that strip, that diagonal old olive strip, stand out a little bit more. The last couple steps, let's close up this ink here. We're going to add some of those embellishments. This time I'm going to be using the clear ones, and we'll do a couple down here, and then we'll do one up at the top. Oops. The surface area of the dots, like to kind of grab onto that background plastic layer. The last step is to add this. Now we don't have any basic beige in this card, so I decided to flip it over. In fact, let's stamp it. Let's stamp our Hello Easter. I think it was Hello Easter. Yep, Happy Easter, that's what it says. stamp Happy Easter. And again, because this is white and it's really hard to see, I'm going to pull in this mat again. And it's going to be vertical, so I'm going to stamp that like that. Oh my gosh, look at how much ink I put onto that block. You can see it's coated on the corners. Rachel got messy. Just lick it and wipe it on your pants. Turn this over. We'll add adhesive in the corners. Then we're going to flip this because some of you are saying, where do you write on your card? You write here on the back side. That's where you can add your sentiment, okay? Your whatever you want to say to your loved ones that you're sending the Easter card to. Okay, next card. And last card is really, really amazing, and a lot of you requested this one. I did not have time, or I didn't take the time because I was on a retreat, to look this fun fold up. So I decided, since that inside looks kind of diamondy, an upside down diamond shape, that I was going to call it the diamond display card, because you open it and you've got this display that stands out on there, right? You could flatten this card down in either direction, okay? Either direction allows you to put it into an envelope, and where you write on the back side. So thank you so much. I think it's Jody Lant that sent me this card, and we are going to do a version of it with this kit. So to do that, we need a half sheet of cardstock, and yes, you can start with one that's already folded. So if you want to use your kit card base, you could. That's totally fine, but we are going to put a couple additional score lines in here. We'll put one at the 2 1/8 inch mark, and the 2 1/8 inch mark on the other side. So now we have kind of this W look, right? W look. This is going to be the front because it folds back on the inside. And then we need some panels. And for our panels, we're going to bring in the envelope. Debbie's like, wow. I know, right? It's a really cool card. And if you didn't catch my show and share, you'll want to look at that whole video to see all the different inspiration. It was crazy fun. That was last Tuesday because, again, I left for my retreat on Wednesday. So normally I do my labs on Wednesdays, but I took off on Wednesday, did my show and share on Tuesday. We did not do prizes for that show and share video because it wasn't a class and I didn't have my moderators with me. But we will be doing prizes from 2 weeks ago when I did the layering leaves card. Do you see this? I'm covering up the dark part of the channel of my trimmer, and I'm cutting off a 1/16 of an inch from each side. That opens up your envelope. I'm also going to cut the bottom. It's just easier than trying to peel it open. Although if you want to peel it open, you can do that. It just takes a little bit longer. See that? So here I've peeled it open. There's all the peel marks. But what's cool about this is if you do peel it, you bring this flap in first, and you want to glue down as much green as you can down there. Then you bring in this flap, and then you bring in this flap, and you have a reverse envelope. So all the messiness gets covered up if you peel it really carefully, and you can create an envelope that has the reverse settings of the design. Now we'll take this piece here and we're going to trim this, trim it down to 2 inches in this direction. And we're going to trim this piece also to 2 inches. So I'm using the 2 inch mark on my trimmer and lining up that edge with the lines like that. We're trimming that off. Okay. There's a few pieces that might fall off like you just saw here, but also sometimes you'll have pieces that just stick to it. Just leave them. It's totally fine. Now we're going to trim these, and I'm just going to stack them on top of each other and trim them both at the same time because they're both really thin paper. It's envelope paper. Thanks, Kathy. So I'm going to move this on my trimmer to just over the 5 1/4 inch mark. See that 5 1/4? We're going to go just over that, but under the 5 3/4 inch mark because I feel like that's a little too long. So I'm sorry, 5 3/8. So just under that, but a little over the 5 1/4. Yes, I said the measurements correct. Okay, now we're going to trim off the bottoms, the flat bottoms. And we have two little shapes here that are going to be side panels for our card. Now we need some inside panels, not for the front, but for the back. So from this piece, we're going to go right to the 5 3/8 inch mark. And I'm sure you will come up with something to use this for. It's a pretty little piece of designer paper. I'm not using it on this card. We're going to trim in this direction at 2 inches. And then we'll also trim another 2 inches. And they don't have to be from the outside edges. It can be wherever. So this is your extra. This is your extra here, right here and right here. So don't throw those away because it's really pretty designer paper. Thank you, Patricia. Oh, good. Karen likes the inside out envelope. It just, you know, I think that there's too much of that design hiding. It's just, it can't be that way. So Terry Gaines did this card, called it a decorative pop-out, panel pop-out. Okay. Thank you so much, Louise. Did she design this? I mean, I know that we all get ideas from each other, but sometimes you create from the start. Like you just close off your mind and you come up with your own fold. I've done that a couple times, but it's always fun to do that. So I'm wondering if she designed it because I would like to give her credit if that is the case. But thank you. Hi, Don. Glad you made it. So now we have all of our panels. This one we're going to flip over and we're going to stamp. We are going to stamp on the back side the thicker sentiments this time. We're going to have the one that says "To a Wonderful Friend." Because I'm not using Petunia Pop ink on this card at all. Sorry, fixing something over here. Because I'm not using Petunia Pop, I decided to bring in Mossy Meadow ink. And we are going to stamp our sentiments with this. So we're going to stamp one of them on the back panel. Had a little thing there. Make it high enough where you can write something underneath it, right? So there's one panel. And then I'm also going to stamp onto the circle. So the circle is a little sentiment piece that comes in your kit. And there are quite a few pieces that will fit inside that circle, including the one that says "Sending Love." So we're going to stamp the "Sending Love" in there. I need to re-ink my pad, which is why I'm moving the stamp around, because I'm trying to get the areas where the ink is the densest. Okay, we'll stamp that down into the middle of the circle. Now we have that ready. We're also going to bring in our mint leaves and a couple strips or scraps of Mossy Meadow. And then we need this big panel. Okay, we need something to pop out at us. With these scraps, that's where I'm going to be using the bow punch. Remember I told you the bow punch, just add something to it. You don't have to own this. You can maybe just leave off the leaves or just take and maybe do an extra mint leaf or something to fill in the space. But I've got 1 1/4 inch high strips here, and I'm going to punch out a couple leaves. I don't think I can get 2 out of 1. No. So we'll do another one. I just had scraps. There we go. So we have a couple of those. And twine. We need our twine. So I'm going to pull out the twine. This is the end of celebration, you guys. So if there's anything that you want to buy during this month, do it so that you can get a free celebration pick. I'm just double, like making this a double type of twine length or twine width or whatever you want to call it. I put 2 of them together and then I tied my bow, adjusting the ends. Yes, do it now. A $60 order gets you a free pick from the celebration offerings. Okay, we have our bow ready and we are set to assemble. So for this piece, oh wait, we need one more piece. Ha ha ha. Here it is, and I've already cut and scored it. It is 2 inches high, and it is scored at 2 1/8. I'll show you on here. We'll just bend them all. 2 1/8, 3 1/8, 5 1/8, and 6 1/8. All right? Then it's cut at 8 1/4 inches. This is the diamond piece that will go into the card. This is the part that pops it out. You need to have these two sections here equal this section in order for your card to be mailed. So you can flatten it out in either direction. 1 inch, 1 inch, 2 inches. All right, so if your card is bigger and you're working with a larger size card, you can adjust it for that. Just know that these two equals this. Okay, now we add all of our panels. We're going to start with this panel. And I'm just going to add that into this space. We have, again, a 1/16 of an inch. I'm looking at the bottom and the right and left sides so that we have a mossy meadow edging equal all the way around. Do you see this up here? We're just going to take and trim that. You can use a long bladed scissors if you feel more confident with that. Otherwise, just take your snips and trim about the same distance going all the way. The next panel. So yes, I'm moving over to YouTube only, you guys. Excuse me. So if you are watching on Facebook, make sure that you are looking at that pinned post on my page for upcoming lives. That's where I'll share links. But you'll also want to be subscribed to my YouTube channel. I'm just going to post that right here. Okay. You just look up my name and there you'll find me on YouTube. There is a link that I put in a post that I put on Facebook today for finding my direct YouTube channel, or you can go to stampyourartout.com, and in the upper right, you'll see all my socials, all my social media links for YouTube, Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram. I do the most on Facebook and YouTube, but I do love pinning. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here is the front. Now the back side we'll want to do now too. So we're going to put these items on there because it's going to be harder to add these once your card is put together. So do all your panels first. So this goes into this section, or if you want to, you can switch these around. Sorry about that. Let's get that off the screen. Now I am adhering this to this side so that you can see my stamped message. And again, you'll see a 1/16 of an inch edging on all of those little panels there. The next step is to add this. So we're going to close this together like that, and we're going to flatten it to one side. Then we're going to put adhesive just on this back section, the part that's going to extend into the card. We're going to insert, we're going to fold this up, and we're going to insert this into the card. So you see what I'm doing here? I'm making this back into a W. I'm grabbing this folded piece and I'm inserting it. I also want to have it somewhat in the middle. If you have a very short piece that you're adding on the front, then I would suggest, making sure that it's down low enough, because your front piece actually sits on the table when it's on display. So we'll scoot it a little bit more, and then you stick it down. Now we have one stuck down. We're going to put adhesive on this piece. So just extend it out. And you could use glue here if you don't trust your tape adhesive, but we'll do the same thing where we're going to flatten this out and we're going to bring this back and we're going to tuck this in. So now I have everything flattened like that, and I'm going to press it down. And that's how you get your diamond-shaped little display piece, okay? Now, when you flatten this all the way, it's not going to flatten down all the way. And you could adjust measurements if you really want to, but it's kind of fun to have that stretched back look like that. So that's why I didn't adjust the measurements. I love the measurements on this butterfly version. It's so pretty. Okay, so now we'll take and layer our leaves. For this one, I did put some tape adhesive or glue adhesive, I think it was my glue, down at the bottom here. And then I put a dimensional or two up at the top. Oh, and you know what? I didn't take these backings off yet. Let's see if we can get them to go back on. You got to put them on the right way or they'll get stuck. Yep, okay, there we go. All right, so I'm keeping them on, and I'm just placing this where I want it to sit, which is right about here, because I want my sending love sentiment to go underneath it. So that's going to sit here. And it's not sticking down all the way yet because I want to put some leaves back there. This leaf I want to have in this direction. I'm going to take the cap off my glue and add a little thin line right around there and tuck and stick it in. This one, I think I flipped this way. Yep, so it is going, it's kind of going the same direction, isn't it? It is, it's going the same direction. And that one I'm going to add tucked in here. A little bit lower. In fact, you're gonna see a little bit of that stem coming out on the bottom. But we're gonna cover it up because we're putting our sending love here. So then we can peel off the backings on our dimensionals and stick that down and really make sure that that's staying in place. It's not gonna shift around on us. Let's grab dimensionals for this piece. I think I'm gonna add 3 to really support it and to make sure that our stem, we'll just put one here on the stem. There we go. Peel off the backings and add that in place like so. Then we have this, and I'm using glue dots for that. Now you could use, if you have past paper pumpkin kits, use up those glue dots because those are perfect for twine bows. You know, little tiny twine, little tiny things, just totally perfect for that. So I'm gonna take and stick it down on here at the same time that I'm kind of rolling it into a little tiny narrow, I don't know, rolled up burrito is what a fellow demonstrator calls it. Grab those, kind of stick those on the side, stick this down. These are kind of going crazy. You kind of bring them off to the side. All right, and then the last thing is actually 2 last steps. So we need our beautiful pecan pie embellishments. The pecan pie I thought really went well with that, that foiling that's on here. So we're gonna add a tiny one right over the O. Grab our adhesive, and at this point, glue might be the easiest to work with so that you can kind of adjust it. Don't bring it all the way to the edge because if you have to adjust this either way or up and down, you don't want that glue to seep out. So just in the middle, middle-ish, we're going to add that to the center here, making sure it looks centered on the back side, but also when we lay it down, you can also adjust it here, getting it in the right spot, making sure it looks good in both directions, and that this is coming to the bottom of your card. And there you have it. There you have it, you guys. Here is my other finished one. So we will fold that one flat so you can see the look of that. This one here with the front look of that. And then these 2 cards. Oh my gosh, yay. So basically I did 1, 2, 3, 4 because I did 2 different versions of this first one. My goodness sakes, that was fun. Now, what do I want to share with you? My next live, before we do prizes here, my next live will be on Friday, but it's a members only live. Once a month I do a YouTube supporter member only live, and I have a fun project planned. I will share the photographs of those things that I'm sharing in a future post, so you'll be able to see what you missed, but the directions won't come along with it, no video with it, that sort of thing. So you'll want to be a member, a YouTube member. You can join with my link that's in the video description so that you can get in on all that stuff. And I really, truly appreciate the support that you give me, whether it's being a fan so that you can use those fun emojis and have little rhinestones next to your name, or whether it's a supporting member so that you can get that extra video each month as well. So I appreciate you. Thanks so much for supporting my channel. Let's see, the live after that, the next public live will be on Wednesday, March 5th. And that will be when I am blog hopping with my all-star group. We're going to be sharing the Mixed Media Florals Suite. And I have another fun fold card to share with you, one that's been around for a while, but again, I was inspired by a card I received through swaps and just want to give a shout out to that person when I do my live next week. Plus, it's just such a fun card to make, so unique. So I'll be doing that next week on Wednesday at 11 a.m. The Friday one, sorry, is at 10 a.m. And then on March 8th, on Saturday at 10 a.m., I'll be doing mystery stamping along with all of you. So I hope that you return for that. Okay, so what else do we have going on? I think we're going to do prizes. You guys ready for prizes? Let's put these things out of the way. And then I think I just have a couple things for news to share with you. Again, if you're not a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, where's my kit? I really highly encourage you to give it a go, especially in this coming month because it's the anniversary or birthday month. Every March, they throw in an extra free stamp set into your kit. So you're going to get 2 stamp sets along with the cards that you're going to create. And I have been told by the people that work at Stampin' Up that this is comparable to that kit that we had with the sunflowers a few Augusts ago. Really super popular kit that sold out with refills in seconds. So up your subscription, activate your subscription, start your subscription, and make sure you start it with me as your demonstrator so I can gift you with prizes and that sort of thing. Unless you have a demonstrator, then share the love with them and start your subscription with your demonstrator. If you are a demonstrator, your account will automatically go to you. All right, next we have prizes. And last week's prizes, 2 weeks ago, the prizes were based on, let's see here, layering leaves. That's what it was. Sorry, I'm going to get these out of the way. Layering leaves. Because we use the layering leaves stamp set. So you can choose this if you don't have it yet, or you can choose an embossing folder. And I have a couple of these, Twisted Rope and Softly Sophisticated, if your name is one of these Afterlive winners. So I will pull up my screen here so that you can see. And you'll want to reach out to me at my email address at stampyourartout@comcast.net. All right, so here are the winners. Drum roll. We have from last week's video, or 2 weeks ago, sorry, this is our YouTube Afterlive winner. We have Rosemary Johnson, 1612. Congratulations, Rosemary Johnson. And then from our Afterlive or during the live comments on Facebook, we have Beth Mills. Congratulations to both of you. Make sure you reach out to me at the email address that you see here. All right, next, the prizes for today. So let me pull that out. It's a unique one. Actually, it's not really unique because, I've done this kind of prize before, but I'm adding in something extra to it because I just did a kit together event. So you're going to see some extra goodies here. So you get to pick 5 ink spots and you get a couple of these little packets. They include dimensionals and little rhinestones, little embellishment rhinestones. Not really rhinestones, they're more like a glitter dot, okay? So they're gold. These came from kits that I purchased for my Kit Together event and didn't need these things, so I have a ton of them. So again, 5 ink spots based on these colors. You can zoom in on them if your name gets called. You can go back to the screen and you can watch the replay and zoom in on these colors and then email me with the 5 that you want. Now, some of these have double colors, like I have like 5 of some of these colors, 4 of another, you know what I mean? So give me maybe your top list of 6 or 7 colors. How does that sound? Okay. So we will go over to Miss Trisha Josephs, and I'm just checking on my computer here. She has called out the winners, yay. So I just have to wait for them to come through here. I am going to scroll back actually. We'll see if we can grab her comment. It's interesting how my iPad shows winners or comments. It like takes all of the Facebook ones and shoots them out all at once, and then it shoots out all the YouTube ones at once. You're gonna have to do it again, Trisha, because I can't find it. It's not coming up. So hopefully, yeah, we will shout them out in just a second here. Oh, maybe this is it. Maybe this is it. I got a bunch of YouTube comments on my iPad now. Oh my goodness. Oh, Trisha. It's not your fault, not at all. I'm just saying, oh, Trisha, because I wish we could time this. the winners are, and I'm reading off of my computer, Judith Tanner and Maria Christina Leon. Congratulations to all of you winners. So you two that I just called out, Judith Tanner and Maria Christina, you'll want to reach out to me also at my email address on the screen and claim your prize. Okay, so on that note, let me put these things aside, and I want to look over my other notes here to make sure I covered everything. YouTube video of card. Okay, yep. Oh, the video of the card share, the video that I did the show and share on, that is linked in the description of my video. I think we covered everything, you guys. All right, that's it. I hope that you enjoyed. Have fun creating with your kit if you have it in hand. If you don't have it in hand, you can't actually get the full kit. You can only get the refill, but then you have to activate or start a subscription to get in on refills or add-ons and that type of thing. So we will miss those of you that aren't figuring out how to get over to YouTube. We will miss you. So please figure it out. It's fairly easy. Just follow the links that are in the post that I put there today. Follow Lisa's instructions. I'm sure she's been sharing as well. Or reach out to me at my email address that I just put up there so that I can guide you, because I want you to be able to continue watching my lives, and I will only be on YouTube for the next I don't know how many videos, but we're leaving Facebook Lives, you guys. I hope that you join me on YouTube. Thank you again. I appreciate you all for tuning in. Thanks for the thumbs up. Thanks for the likes and the shares and all those good things. Take care, everybody. We will see you soon. All right. Now I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. Bye-bye.